Chloe. You already know us, hopefully. We're going to get straight into things. We have an exciting episode come up today. What do we have? First up? We're talking about ourselves. We love doing that. And then after, we have a great yap session of talking all about ourselves and this wonderful Chloe right here who has some things to say. We have actually a really cool interview section with you today. So there is going to be a fantastic guest.
Stay tuned.
You might know her, you might love her, you should love her. Xanthie Marcelle. Yes. Okay, but first of all, Chloe, you did a really cool thing today. So do you want to tell us about the thing?
I went on the radio this morning with one of our other STUFFit crew people.
Yeah, we actually...
Marley, come over here.
We've had Marley on the show before, second episode. One of our first guests. Get in here, girl. Marley! Part of the Star Sticker Gang.
Yeah. I think I dropped all my stickers off.
If you're wondering about the stickers on faces,
Rae just kind of found stickers and we kind of just stuck them everywhere. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you, producer.
Yeah.
Wow.
We have stickers now. Anyway, yes, how was your experience on the radio?
It was so fun, not gonna lie. We kind of I don't know, we were very, very nervous.
I was so nervous. I panicked a bit.
Yeah, we were panicking a little bit, but then once I heard it back, I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad.
It wasn't bad. It was incredible.
It wasn't bad. It was actually quite fun.
We did a good job. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Were the hosts nice? Was it good getting there?
She was lovely. So lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to have a little chat.
Would you do it again?
I would, honestly.
Yeah, because I know what to do now, so
Yeah.
I would be more confident next time. I would do it again, yeah.
You killed it. We were all in here listening to it live, just all cheering you on and smiling, and then whenever you said all your lines, and we were just like,
I was yeah, honestly, I was we were trying not to muck up, but then we also did at the same time a little bit.
You're learning.
But
you got this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a learning curve, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day.
And we did it.
But that's the other thing too. Yeah, they only have heard us as well.
Yeah,
on the radio. When you think about it, it's not the end of the world.
You're not identifiable in public.
Exactly.
Don't worry.
People aren't going to be like, are you the one that was on the radio that day?
No, they'll be like, STUFFit Yaps.
Yeah, we're just that famous, guys.
Yes. No photos.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so we wanted to talk about.
What did we want to talk about? How was we did have a session with Danny today.
We did.
Get back in here, you're a guest now. So we had our event session. I don't believe you two were there for half of it, so I don't know.
On the radio.
I don't think I have anybody to bounce back.
We were too famous on this one.
They were off on their tour. They were up in the skies. They were there were stars. See, and they got the stars to prove it. Look at that, stars. No, but it was a good event session. We learned a lot, especially combining this one with last one on customer journey. That was great. And then we got some great info on our upcoming interview guest who spoke to us in length, and it was fantastic. Great information. And then just keeping on planning our screening event. We're all very excited, I think. Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Can you barely contain your...
See my barely contained today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. But if you don't know where to enter for your films, it's right here. Is my finger in the screen?
We put it up every week. You know it. You love it. The good old text box. Right here.
StudentFilmFestival.com. No, STUFFit Film Festival. I messed that up on live radio almost. Anyway,
it's okay there. And what are we doing
What
next?
are starting next week things?
No, what about today?
Oh, today. We're visiting Q Events, guys.
Q Events.
Our partner in
We're putting our logo somewhere on there. They are our partner.
Rae's face is the Q Events photo.
I am Q Events. I am your almighty leader of events. No, they are wonderful, and we are going to visit them today and get some stuff for an upcoming event we have on tonight. We've never been there. I know Lincoln has, but we have not.
I haven't, yeah.
Huh?
Robin's game.
Robin and
Robin's.
Lincoln have been to Q events.
Yeah, I haven't.
Neither. Can you say neither when it's more than 2 people? We haven't been, but we will be going. So when you see us next week, we will no longer be Q events. Not newbies, novices.
I just realised as well what's going to happen next week because I won't be here.
Chloe, no.
I have a very important little excursion through my school, so sadly I will not be here next week.
The thing is, Lincoln is going to dress up as Chloe.
Dye your hair red! Dye your hair red!
No, either we will skip an episode or we will record 2 the week after, or I will go it alone and I'll just sit here and then pretend to be me and then sit there and pretend to be Chloe
That would be
and just
funny.
like cut back between it. Anyway,
I'll tune in to see that.
anyways, gang, yeah. You guys have anything else you want to yap about?
Not really.
Not really, yeah.
Are we ready to cut and then introduce to our amazing, fabulous, wonderful guest?
Yes.
I'm Rae,
And I'm Chloe.
and this is our special guest,
Xanthie.
Woo! And what do you do, Xanthie? Tell us all about yourself.
So I am a filmmaker. Very broad title, that one, but I'm a producer, and I'm also a writer-director. I work in documentary, scripted, short form, long form, web series, horror, comedy, everything.
Whole portfolio right there.
Yes. I'm the founder of Marcelle Pictures and Services, and working into the screen education sector as well. So,
Do you want to read first question?
Okay. What do you do in the film industry?
I try to make sure that an idea can become a reality. So in a nutshell, that's probably what it would be. Producer side of things is usually to do with the logistics, all of the boring stuff, budgets, finance plans, all of that kind of thing.
Scenes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then writer-director, that's that idea, and kind of bringing that creative idea to fruition.
For sure.
And then same with screen education. So having an idea for what you want to do, what you want to learn, and being able to make that a reality as well,
Yeah.
get those skills up. So yeah, that's what I call it.
Yeah, and you have a background in judging, I think. What, in your opinion, like when do you know that a film is ready to like be put out into the film festival scene? If you were a filmmaker, which you are, you had a film, how would you know if it was ready?
A film is never done. I would say that. So it's never done to what you want it to be at the very least, but there's always something that can be tweaked and adjusted. For myself, so I've made, produced and also written, directed and produced several short films and submitted all of them to film festivals. I think one of the key things to do it strategically is on Film Freeway you can get discounted tickets for some festivals, and so if you line it up that you've got a bunch of festivals you want to submit to and you get your discounted subscription, pay for that and get all of the discounted tickets and then cancel your subscription. That's a micro budget
There you go.
tip there.
Got that.
But in general, I think it's just you just have to give it a go. What's the worst that can happen is that you don't place. And the best thing is that you end up with a really pretty laurel. You end up getting screened. You end up with some feedback from judges. Wherever you've got, especially as a student filmmaker, someone trying to learn, wherever there's the option to get feedback from judges, to pay that little bit extra to get it, definitely go for that.
Alrighty, the next question is, what are your top tips for creating your student film on a budget?
Have lots of friends
Good tip.
that are willing to kind of help you out. Figure out, because a lot of it is just having the resources for it. So figure out where you can provide someone value in return for helping you out. So if you need to have a location and you've got a family friend who has a pretty good location that you could use, try to see whether you can, I don't know, mow their lawn in order to use their location. With actors, a lot of the time you use the exposure is what they're wanting, but then making sure that you the value that you give a lot of the time needs to be the quality of their experience as well.
Sure, yeah.
So if you can't pay everybody, make sure you've got some good food. Get a slow cooker. Hot food on a set is always good, especially if it's a night shoot.
Yes.
And a full crew, a well-fed crew is a happy crew.
Oh yeah.
So I would say that, and then just leverage whatever you can to make it a lower cost. So if you're in the middle of writing your film, you might be writing a massive car chase scene. Maybe would it be funny to do it on a bike or something like that?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, it's boring, but work health and safety. So if you're using public areas,
safe.
anywhere that has to do with vehicles and things like that, anything where it is like a council land thing, there are going to be permits and things like that. The last thing you want to do is arrange everything, you go somewhere to shoot, and then you have to leave because you're not allowed to be there. And it wastes all of that time. So.
Definitely some good things to think about. And then, so we've talked a bit on filmmaking stuff. If we go back to judging, what are some things that you personally look for when you are judging a film?
Well, looking directly at student films, so my experience last year with judging the student films, I think for myself, every judge is going to be different. Everybody has a different approach to it. For myself, though, I already know that the resources are going to be probably quite low, and I already know that everybody's learning. So for me, it's less about having this beautiful, polished, perfect product, and more about seeing these kind of potential skills coming out. So being able to see the way that it's been cut together, that really tells a story really well with that pacing. Those kind of little intuitive elements in there. I also find a good thing for micro-budget filmmakers and student filmmakers to do is to lean into comedy a lot of the time, because comedy is a lot more forgiving than drama.
For sure.
So whenever I see a drama student film that has been executed quite nicely, I tend to judge that as strongly compared to a comedy that's executed at the same level, because that takes a lot more kind of confidence and strength of skill to be able to get that emotional connection, whereas comedy you can kind of spoof, and sometimes having that kind of low production value, which I don't like that term, but when it looks a little bit kind of cheap and cheerful, it can actually make it more funny. So it's a good strategic one, but if you've got something to say that's emotional, I think that's really important. And that's what I think judges should be thinking about that as well in general.
For sure, yeah. Thank you so much for those tips, and thank you so much for actually coming on here.
No, my
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Yes. Do you have any last remarks, or are we good with the yapping?
I mean, I love a yap. I would probably
Love
say
yap on STUFFit Yaps.
it's tricky. It's a hard industry. If you can do anything else, do that. Something that Shonda Rhimes has been quoted to say. Bridgerton. That's Shonda Rhimes.
We have a Bridgerton fan in the house.
There we go. But it is really rewarding, and it is a group effort. So find your tribe. Find people that are going to add and not take away, and be creative in every part of it, whether it's the boring stuff or the fun stuff. Be creative.
Yay!
Alrighty.
Yippee!
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much. We are going to. Shall we do a little sign off? Okay. Thank you. And farewell.
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 Thank you.
Bye.